All right, people, what's happening? We've got a big update today. What's happening in Los Angeles is similar to what's been happening in Las Vegas. Tourism is plummeting. And in fact, if you look at the numbers, it's plummeting worse in Los Angeles than it is in Las Vegas. So what's the story? Are people scared to go there? Is homelessness gotten too bad? Like if you see what looks behind me, a alley, it looks to be a pretty bad looking alley somewhere in Los Angeles. Or is it other factors? Are people just not vacationing, not taking trips, and not traveling like they used to? Well, let's go ahead and get into it. First, let's start with some homeless details here, what's happening in Los Angeles.
Is a neighborhood in California. This isn't downtown LA. This is a neighborhood where families live, where houses in this neighborhood range from around $800,000 to $900,000. And this is what the people wake up to every day. No longer can their little kids ride their bikes on the sidewalks. No longer can people walk their dogs or elderly people go for a walk because their sidewalks are full of this. Along with this, not only is it dangerous, but it is not sanitary. Where do these people go to the bathroom? Well, they go to the bathroom outside in the streets. So people are walking literally through human poop. Also, people have propane tanks. Fires have been caused because of these encampments. The city does nothing about it. The neighbors have complained over and over again, but nothing is done. Can you imagine?
Think back to when you were a kid. Maybe you were outside. Maybe you were walking to the store. Maybe you were riding your bike, whatever. Imagine going down a street like that when you were a kid with all these tents. And like she said, there could be stuff, from they don't use the bathroom where they should. Wow, folks. And the numbers just continue to get worse. We just have another uptick in the homelessness, right? For years, we've been hearing, we're going to fix this. We're going to throw all this money at it and get everything solved and get these people a place to live, get them rehabilitated, folks. Just like we said here on this channel, it's not happening. In fact, look how much worse the numbers got. Take a look at this out of the Public Policy Institute of California. Homelessness hits a record high in California. These are the latest numbers from this particular study. And just like we told you the year before that and the year before that, it just got worse, right? Nothing's being done to fix the problem. Cost of living is still high. People are still, in some cases, better off on the street than they are trying to work and make ends meet. Because if you are going to work, you might just be working just to pay bills and just live paycheck to paycheck. And a lot of people are choosing just to check out of the game. And if they're not homeless, they're close to being homeless. They're living in their vehicles. We've had episodes where we've shown many people living in their vehicles. Those numbers continue to go up as well. So both in shelters, out of shelters, in vehicles, people not with a real house to go home to, the numbers just keep getting worse. Not just LA, but throughout California. Take a look at what's happening up in Oakland.
This is Fallout 3. Not necessarily child-proof anymore. So you guys understand, I've been to so many places at this point, I'm starting to lose my emotional sensitivity to what's going on here a little bit. I don't really know how to react anymore because at this point it's all starting to blend.
I mean, this car is floating right now.
Whoa.
What's going on?
That is crazy. All right, let's take a look at this. You guys are about to have your mind blown. Hey, what up? Where are we at right now?
We're in Oakland, California.
Okay, I just saw this car levitating. That's why I walked over here. Are we in the park right now?
This is a park.
Okay. Does the city come out here and say, hey, let's get you guys in the shelter? Or is it just like you're good to do whatever?
Well, unfortunately,
yeah,
the city doesn't do much.
Okay.
They do keep the porta potties out.
All right.
That keeps down the hips.
When's the last time this place was swept?
You know? You have to answer that one.
It was a minute ago.
The inconsistency between the corrupt nonprofits, they get billions of dollars, and the nonprofits who are actually helping people, they get pennies, if that. Isn't that weird? The ones that are
That's
enabling.
not weird. That's how it is, so that they still get the other people still get their money. You
That's
know what
the
I mean?
industry.
Like that's the industry, of course.
They call it the homeless industrial complex.
He said what many of you probably already know. The money that's supposed to go to fix this or at least help this doesn't get to where it's supposed to go, if you know what I'm saying.
To live half comfortable, you have to be based on two incomes. Two incomes easy, and that's the only way.
Two incomes?
Two incomes.
Right now, you guys are doing better than the city.
Yeah?
Even that guy knew it. He said to get by, you have to have two incomes, right? And there are exceptions, but most people, and just like we have most people living paycheck to paycheck, you have to have either multiple streams of income, multiple jobs, or more than one person working in the household. And it's not just California. The reason we show California is because it is far worse here than most of I think all the other states. I think this is the worst. But it's not just a California operational causation. A lot of people are sent to California from other states because the weather is better. So someone homeless in Chicago or Boston, they're going to have a lot harder time because the winters. So there have been even reports where these people were sent on buses to California. So if you talk to California homeless people, and I don't recommend it unless you have somebody with you to keep you safe, but if you do go out there and talk to them, you're going to find out that a lot of them are not from California, maybe even most of them. I don't think there's ever been a survey finding out exactly if most of them are from out of state, but I've spoken to a few here in California over the years. I've been living here over 20 years in San Diego, and a lot of them are from out of state. I hear stories about basically transients going from state to state, looking for the best place to be homeless, which I don't know if there is a best place to be homeless because, I mean, if you look at the weather, yeah, California has better weather. You're not going to freeze to death. But if there's so many more of the homeless population in California, is it really better just because the weather is better? All right, take a look at some more here, folks.
Since there's so many tents in Los Angeles all over the streets, there's actually one right behind me. You can see it across the street in the blue right there, right back there. Since they're all over the streets, businesses that own property, whether it be a business or where people live, apartments, they have to, out of their own pockets, have to spend money on these planters. You see these planters that go all the way down here on the street? They have to spend money on these planters. So
Actually, I've seen that. I've wondered why some businesses had so many planters up front. I'm like, wow, this is plant overload here. Are they trying to turn this into a garden? Or, but yeah, it makes sense. Now they can't put their tents up. And it's a lot of plants, folks. Expensive planters, too. Look how tall those things are. It's like 3 feet tall.
So individuals don't put their tents here. Because when people see a lot of tents, they don't want to go into the business or rent property. So what the people are doing that, like I said, own these businesses and properties, have to plant all these planters here. So nobody puts tents there. Because this area right here that I'm showing you was full of tents. So this business right here had enough and planted all these planters here. And in some places in Los Angeles, they tell the businesses to take the planters down. It's almost like they want tents to be all over the streets, these politicians in Los Angeles. So I just wanted to show you what people have to do to combat tents on their properties.
Wow, folks. And they have trouble keeping the plants up because they get complaints from the city, right? They spent all these money on these planters, probably a lot of money, and they get told to take them down or you can't have them on the sidewalk. It's either that or the tents, folks. So it's hard enough to keep a business open, especially in Los Angeles. Now they're having to fight the city. Maybe they have to get permits to have more than 2 plants. I mean, who knows what the actual rules are. But it's crazy, folks. That's the insanity that a lot of people, I think, don't even think about when it comes to this homelessness situation. And for the areas that you can't just put planters all over the street, take a look at some of this. It even gets worse. Look at this.
Hello guys, Stella May here with an update for you guys. I was just woken up by the cops. I'm here in the alleyway, as you can see. Anyways, sorry, I'm really tired. still looking for a spot for my dog and I. My dog's with my friend still. Just trying to hang in there and get through one day at a time. Found some rubber bands in the trash the other day, so I did this cool little thing with my hair. I mean, I believe that just because you're homeless doesn't mean you need to look like you're homeless constantly, so I try to do things to make myself appear more civilized and less transient. As much as I can, at least. But today I'm just gonna be looking for a spot and going in the dumpsters and trying to get this show on the road. Thank you for everything that you guys have done. And
she doesn't look that rough or beat up. I mean, she looks a little bit like she's been, seen some hard times. She mostly just looks tired. I bet it's hard to get a good night's sleep with being homeless.
And the continuous support and love and the kind words. I think I'm gonna start to do a live.
Obviously, she's got a cell phone and she's paying her cell phone bill. So maybe that's all the income that she has. Maybe she's making some money online, getting donations and stuff like that.
Show once a month. And so once I plan that out more, I will give you guys an update on that. Outside of that, I hope you guys have a great day. Good morning and have a wonderful day.
Also, one of the things that I think of first when I see somebody like this out in the streets is how safe are they? I bet she's in a lot of danger with all the crazy people out there. Somebody that's young like that probably is an easy target, for some bad stuff, unfortunately.
Torrance is considering one of the toughest homeless crackdowns in California, military-style tent camps, and even arrests for refusing shelter. This isn't just about moving encampments. The proposal makes it a crime to turn down housing. Here's the rule. Refuse shelter 3 times in 18 months, and you could be arrested. Councilmember Aurelio Matucci says tents with cots and bathrooms are enough to get people off the street, calling the chronically unhoused chronically helpless. And here's why this matters. If Torrance passes it, other cities will follow. Share this with people outside of Torrance so they...
Wow, look at that, folks. The homeless people built some sort of treehouse contraption, folks. That's crazy. I don't think I've ever seen that. Punishing people, fining people, threatening to arrest people for refusing to go to the homeless shelters. And I'm not sure if he's going to get to it. I haven't seen this yet. But a lot of people feel more unsafe in homeless shelters than they do out on the sidewalk, believe it or not. People out on the sidewalk in their own tent, they feel more safe sometimes than in these homeless shelters because the homeless shelters are overcrowded. You're forced to be in the same area as who knows who. Like, it could be some very bad people in there. So people oftentimes feel better in their own tent. They feel more secure in their own tent versus a shelter where hundreds of homeless people are running around. You can kind of see their point, right? But now they're making it illegal in some areas. This is Torrance, California, making it illegal to refuse shelter. Let's continue.
You know what could be coming. Critics say it criminalizes homelessness and ignores addiction and mental health. Supporters argue it finally forces people into treatment or long-term care. So is Torrance setting the stage for California's future or just repeating policies that never solve the root problem? I'm Rick Lee, your friend, neighbor.
How did the price of rent go from annoying to nearly impossible? People are paying $1,800 for a 1-bedroom, no parking, no updates, and don't even ask about appliances. And the landlord still wants you to make 3x that to qualify. Rent used to be tight, now it's survival mode. How much is your rent in your area?
And folks, that's a big part of the problem. Rents continue to be stubbornly high, even though most people are barely scraping by. Landlords aren't having it. They're just keeping on. They're still raising the rents. We are seeing rents drop in some cities, but overall, I'm hearing that still prices are rising, and you're getting less for your money, right? But it's not just that. Look at the food prices, especially fast food. If you eat fast food, you're paying a lot more than even last year. Take a listen to this.
literally just robbed. I was just robbed, literally just robbed at Wendy's because I got one thing. How much do you think this one thing was? I'll tell you. It was a large Diet Coke, right? A large Diet Coke. $3.55. $3.55 for a large Diet Coke. Damn near $4 for a fountain drink. Are we okay?
Fountain drinks were supposed to be cheaper because they pump it in there with the carbonation and then they mix it with the water and the flavoring. I remember, and maybe I'm dating myself here, I remember when 2 liters were 99 cents. And I haven't drank soda in so many years. I don't know how much they are now. Please let me know down in the comments. Are they still 99 cents anywhere? Maybe Walmart, maybe discount store. Do they sell 2 liters at the dollar store? I don't think so. Wow, almost $3.60 for a big gulp size drink. It looks like.
I live in Ohio. And right now I'm not even in the nice part of Ohio. Speechless. Wendy's, are you good?
Speechless, she says, folks. What do you think about this California homeless crisis? Numbers are up again from last year. And where does it end, folks? Is there any solution? They're making it illegal to be homeless, or they're going to fine people for refusing shelter. Some people don't want to go to shelters for many reasons. The safety concern, the fact that they won't be able to party, if you know what I mean. They won't be able to party like they would if they were just out on the street. And we all know these people, a lot of them are addicted. They just want to party, and do everything you can imagine. Let me know down in the comments, folks. Thanks for being here. Hope to see you in the next video. Keep stacking. Bye for now. Peace.